Okay, we focus on your finances first at 5:30, specifically the price you pay for groceries.
From shrinking container sizes to prices that seem to jump weekly, shoppers are really feeling the pinch.
Americans spend over $400 billion a year on groceries. That is a wild number, and a huge chunk of you are spending that money at stores that have been ranked the absolute worst in the country. Today, we are counting down the 10 worst grocery store chains in America, and honestly, some of these might be where you just shopped yesterday. Number 10, Fred Meyer. Coming in at number 10, we have Fred Meyer. If you are from the Pacific Northwest, you already have opinions about this place. Fred Meyer tries to be everything: groceries, electronics, clothing, home goods, all under one roof. And look, that sounds great in theory. You walk in for bananas and walk out with a new pair of jeans and a blender. But here is the problem. When a store is trying to sell you everything, it usually does not do any one thing really well. The grocery section at a lot of Fred Meyer locations feels like the thing they care about the least. You walk into the produce section and it looks like the vegetables have been through something. Wilted lettuce just sitting there looking sad. Bruised apples that have clearly seen better days. And the expiration dates on some of the dairy products are, let us say, optimistic. The checkout situation is also a whole experience. You get in line, and there are 2 registers open out of like 15. The self-checkout machines are broken half the time, so you are just standing there holding your stuff, watching your free time disappear. Their Fuel Points reward program is nice, sure, but you should not need a consolation prize just for surviving the shopping trip. And the thing is, Fred Meyer employees are not bad people. A lot of them clearly try. But when the company does not give them enough support, enough staff, enough resources to keep the store running properly, what are they supposed to do? You end up with workers who are stretched thin trying to cover 3 departments at once, and customers who get frustrated because nothing seems to work smoothly. The deli is hit or miss. The bakery gets less attention than it deserves, and the overall vibe in a lot of these stores is just tired. When a store is trying to sell you a television and a head of lettuce under the same prof, one of those things is going to suffer. Number 9, Piggly Wiggly. Number 9 on the list is Piggly Wiggly, and yes, that is a real name. This is actually one of the oldest grocery brands in the country. They literally invented self-service grocery shopping back in 1916. Before Piggly Wiggly, you had to hand a list to a clerk and just wait while they grabbed everything for you. They also introduced the shopping cart, so historically, huge deal. But that was over 100 years ago, and right now the situation is not great. Piggly Wiggly has over 500 stores, mostly in the Southeast, and they are all independently owned. That means your experience at one location could be totally fine, and the next one down the road might feel like a grocery store from a horror movie. The complaints are all over the place. Stale bakery stuff, produce that looks like it has been sitting there since last Tuesday, and just a general vibe that the store has not been updated since your parents were in high school. The lighting is dim, the layout makes no sense, and you walk out feeling like you just time traveled. Some of these stores genuinely look like they are stuck in the 90s, and not in a cool nostalgic way, in a did they forget to renovate kind of way. The prices are supposed to be budget friendly, but people keep saying the quality does not match what you are paying, and that is the thing. You can deal with low prices if the food is decent, but when the food is mid and the price is the same as the store next door, what is the point? You never know what you are walking into with Piggly Wiggly. One week the chicken looks fine and the shelves are stocked. Next week, same store, it looks like everyone just gave up, and that inconsistency is the real killer. People want to trust their grocery store. You go every week, you build a routine, you expect a certain standard. With Piggly Wiggly, that routine gets thrown out the window because you genuinely do not know if this visit is going to be a good one or a bad one. That level of randomness is why a lot of shoppers eventually just stop coming back. It does not matter how low the prices are if you cannot count on what you are getting. Number 8, Jewel-Osco. At number 8, we have Jewel-Osco. Chicago people, I know this one hurts. Jewel-Osco has been a Midwest staple for decades with over 150 stores, mostly in Illinois, and a lot of people shop there, not because it is amazing, but because it is just there. It is the grocery store equivalent of saying it is fine, the prices are weirdly high for what you get. Like you are paying top tier prices and getting food that is just okay. The produce section is a constant topic in reviews. People talk about limp vegetables and fruit that goes bad basically the second you get home. Like you put the strawberries in the fridge and the next morning they look like they have given up on life. The checkout lines are rough too. There are never enough cashiers and the whole store just has this energy of we are doing our best, but our best is not that great. They also got some heat for changing promotional deals after too many people were actually using them, which is a bold move. You run a sale, people show up for the sale, and then you change the sale because it worked too well. That is not how you build trust. Jewel-Osco has the bones of a decent chain, but the execution has been slipping. And Chicago shoppers are vocal about it. The frustrating part is that Jewel-Osco used to be better. People who have shopped there for 20 or 30 years talk about how the stores have slowly declined. Less staff, less freshness, less reason to keep coming back. But they do keep coming back because in a lot of neighborhoods, it is the closest option. And that is the trap a lot of these chains fall into. They know you do not have many alternatives, so they stop trying as hard. That laziness shows up in the product and it shows up in the reviews. Number 7, Safeway. Number 7 is Safeway. Okay, this one is going to get people talking because Safeway is everywhere across the western half of the country. Big name, big footprint, big problems. In the 2025 study, Safeway had 3 locations land in the top 10 worst individual grocery stores in the entire country. The one in Washington, D.C. on 40th Street was ranked the single worst grocery store in America. Number 1, dead last. The biggest issue with Safeway is that they charge like they are a premium grocery store, but deliver like they are not. The word overpriced shows up in their reviews constantly. People walk out feeling like they just got robbed by a store that did not even try hard. The customer service is also hit or miss. Some employees are great. Others act like you are bothering them by existing in the store, and the consistency problem is wild. One Safeway location is clean, stocked, and totally fine. The one across town has dirty floors, expired products, and shelves that look like they survived a natural disaster. Safeway is owned by Albertsons, which is a massive company. They have the money to fix this. They just do not seem to care enough at every location. If your Safeway is actually good, you are in the minority. And here is what gets me about Safeway. They have the money and the infrastructure to make every store solid. Albertsons is not a small company, but somewhere between corporate headquarters and the actual store floor, the standards disappear. Some stores get the attention and some do not. And the ones that do not are the ones dragging the whole chain into lists like this. If you have ever walked into a Safeway, looked around and thought this place has given up, you are not alone. Millions of reviewers are saying the same thing. Number 6. Acme Markets. Coming in at number 6 is Acme Markets. This is a mid-Atlantic chain with stores in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and a few other states. And if you have never heard of Acme, the data says you are not missing out. The big problem with Acme is the price to quality ratio. They charge like they are Whole Foods and deliver like they are a gas station deli. That is an exaggeration, but not by as much as you would think. Shoppers talk about bruised produce, deli meat that tastes suspicious, and just an overall feeling that you are paying way too much for what you are getting. The stores themselves get called out for being cluttered and messy. Aisles that feel cramped, stocking that feels random, and an atmosphere that says, we know this is not great, but we are open, so whatever. Here is what makes Acme extra frustrating. They operate in an area where Wegmans, ShopRite, and Trader Joe's exist. All of those chains consistently crush Acme in reviews. So if you are still going to Acme, it is probably out of habit, and habits can be broken. Seriously, if you live in the Acme zone and you have not tried the alternatives, do yourself a favor. Walk into a Wegmans one time and compare. The difference in store quality, produce freshness, and overall vibe will probably make you never go back. Life is too short to spend money at a grocery store that does not respect your time or your taste buds. Acme is charging premium prices for a budget experience, and that math just does not work. Number 5, Giant Eagle. Number 5 on our countdown is Giant Eagle. And this one is rough because Giant Eagle holds the title of having the single worst individual grocery store in the country. That location is the Giant Eagle supermarket on Cedar Avenue in Pittsburgh. The reviews for that place read, like, people are describing a haunted house that sells deli meat, filthy floors, a parking lot that always looks like it just hosted a demolition derby, produce that nobody in their right mind would put in their body, customer service that ranges from non-existent to actively hostile. One person described the veal as terrible and grisly with insanely high prices. Another said the store is just never clean, and they have complained to management multiple times with zero changes. And this is not just one bad store. Giant Eagle, as a chain, ranked 5th worst overall out of 30 major chains. They operate in Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Indiana, and the feedback pattern across all of those states is the same. Prices too high, food quality too low, and a shopping experience that makes you want to cook less and order more DoorDash. When your worst location is literally the worst grocery store in America, that points to something going wrong at the company level. It means certain stores are allowed to just rot, and nobody in corporate is stepping in to fix it. Giant Eagle charges prices that compete with higher-end chains, but the experience at way too many locations does not come anywhere close. The loyalty program is confusing. The layout in a lot of stores feels outdated, and the overall energy of the place just screams, "We are here because we have always been here." That is not enough anymore. People have options now, and stores that refuse to improve are going to keep losing shoppers to chains that actually care about the experience. Number 4, Walmart. At number 4, we have Walmart. I know. Before the comment section explodes, just hear this out. Yes, Walmart has low price. 22 of the 50 worst rated grocery stores in America are Walmart locations. That is 44% of the entire worst list, just one company. In a survey of 600 shoppers asking who has the worst produce, Walmart came in dead last. Over a third of people picked Walmart. The runner-up did not even crack 17%. It was not close. Employees have gone on record saying they do not buy produce from their own store. Think about that for a second. The people who work there, who see what goes on behind the scenes, will not eat the fruits and vegetables they are selling to you. Bagged salads go bad days before the printed date. The seafood is mostly farmed, not wild caught, which means lower quality and a higher chance of additives and dyes. The rotisserie chicken ranked dead last in a national taste test, with reviewers finding birds that were sometimes straight up raw in the center. And Walmart knows about these problems. Their own internal documents from a meeting of top managers showed notes about losing customer trust because shoppers cannot find what they need, and what they do find is not good. They also cut a ton of workers over the years while adding more stores. Fewer employees per store means empty shelves, chaos in the aisles, and checkout lines that feel like they belong at the DMV. The low prices are real, but what are you actually saving if you buy produce and throw half of it away because it went bad before you got to use it? That is not saving money. That is paying less to waste more. And do not even get me started on the store experience itself. Walmart supercenters are massive. Navigating one takes actual effort. The aisles are packed. The floor staff is spread incredibly thin, and the checkout situation at peak hours is genuinely stressful. Self-checkout lanes are supposed to make things faster, but half the time the machines are glitchy, and there is one attendant covering 8 stations looking like they are running air traffic control. The whole thing feels rushed, chaotic, and exhausting. For a company that makes hundreds of billions of dollars a year, the in-store experience should be a lot smoother than this. But low prices are the priority, and everything else, freshness, staffing, cleanliness, customer experience, comes second. 3. Kroger, number 3 on the list is Kroger. This is the biggest pure grocery chain in America with nearly 2,800 stores under a bunch of different brand names, and they are a mess. Kroger ranked first for worst customer service, first for worst checkout lines, and second for worst food quality. That is an absolutely brutal combo. Specific Kroger locations in Columbus, Ohio were named among the worst in the country, with shoppers finding stale bread, meat creeping up on its sell-by date, and expired milk just chilling on the shelf. The customer service complaints are nonstop. Rude cashiers, stores that are obviously running on a skeleton crew, and a vibe that screams, "We do not care if you come back." The checkout lines are insane at a lot of locations. You will stand there watching only 3 self-checkout machines work out of 8, and there is 1 human cashier open for the whole store. Kroger has been dumping money into digital services and delivery, which is cool, but if your actual physical stores look and feel terrible, that does not help the 90% of people who still walk in. You cannot fix a dirty store with an app. People want to walk into a clean building, see fresh food on the shelves, and get out in a reasonable amount of time. That should not be a lot to ask from the largest grocery chain in the country, but at a lot of Kroger locations, even that basic standard is not being met, and it is not like they do not have the money. Kroger pulled in over $150 billion in revenue recently. That is an insane number. So when the store you walk into has empty shelves and a single cashier working on a Saturday afternoon, you have to wonder where all that money is actually going. And here's the scary part. Kroger owns a bunch of other brands: King Soopers, Fred Meyer, Ralph's, Harris Teeter. When the parent company has problems, those problems trickle down everywhere. You will see that play out at the very top of this list. Number 2, Save-A-Lot. At number 2, we have Save-A-Lot. This discount chain has about 720 stores across 32 states. The concept is straightforward. Smaller stores, limited selection, mostly private label brands, and low prices. The idea is to serve communities that bigger chains ignore, often lower income neighborhoods where people do not have a lot of options. The intention is actually noble. The execution is a nightmare. Save-A-Lot has the second lowest average rating among major grocery chains. Shoppers report finding expired produce on the shelves, milk past its sell-by date just sitting there, and meat that makes you question everything about your dinner plans. But the wildest story comes from Chicago. The city put together a $20 million deal to open Save-A-Lot stores in food deserts on the south and west sides, places where people literally have nowhere to buy fresh groceries nearby. The operator running those stores, a company called Yellow Banana, turned into a total disaster. Dumpsters overflowing with food and garbage next to the stores, residents reporting giant rats feeding on the rotting food outside. The city had to issue multiple citations for garbage accumulation. One of the buildings had previously been shut down because of a rat infestation, and somehow they reopened it and the rats came back. Meanwhile, Yellow Banana was bleeding money. They shrank from 38 stores to just a handful. They owed over $2 million in unpaid bills. PepsiCo and other major suppliers sued them for hundreds of thousands of dollars. A finance professor who reviewed their balance sheet called the company insolvent and said he saw nothing that would give communities any hope. These are stores serving people who have no other options. Families on fixed incomes, people who need affordable, decent food nearby. And what they got was expired products, rats, and a company that could not even pay its bills. That is the part that makes this one hard to joke about. Number 1, King Soopers. And at number 1, the worst rated grocery store chain in the United States is King Soopers. If you do not live in Colorado, you probably have never heard this name. King Soopers is a Kroger subsidiary with over 100 stores in Colorado and Wyoming, and it has the lowest average rating of any major grocery chain in the country, just 3.938 out of 5. The specific King Soopers on Green Valley Ranch Boulevard in Denver was ranked the second worst individual grocery store in all of America. It has a 3.4 on Google and a 1.8 on Yelp. A 1.8. That is the kind of rating you see for places that accidentally give people food poisoning. The reviews for this store are something else. Shoppers describe rude employees, products locked behind cases like they are in a prison commissary, shelves that look empty, floors that look dirty, and security guards that make you feel like a suspect just for buying cereal. One person said the store feels unsafe and dystopian. Another called it a blight on the community, and it is not just that one store. Denver has more low-rated grocery stores than any other city in the study. 6 of the 50 worst stores in the country are in Denver alone. Colorado had 9 stores in the bottom 50 nationally. Employees at the Green Valley Ranch location told local news they felt thrown under the bus, but they also admitted the store has real problems. The building is outdated, staffing is a constant issue, and the whole experience has been going downhill. King Soopers also gets destroyed for customer service and checkout lines, which makes total sense because their parent company Kroger has those exact same problems everywhere. Some locations have added physical barriers at the entrance and have employees watching shoppers like hawks the entire time they are in the store. People describe feeling anxious and unwelcome, which is genuinely the opposite of what a grocery store should make you feel. You are buying food. You should not feel like you are being processed through airport security. Low ratings, dirty conditions, awful service, bad food quality, aggressive security, and all the baggage that comes with being a Kroger company. King Soopers earned this #1 spot.